weeks ago, I received an email in our In the Upper Room Outreach Ministries, the Monitor mailbox, and it was from Elder Stephanie Jackson asking us if she could appear on our program to talk about the House of Deborah. So I told you that to say that if you have an organization that you would like to have featured on our program, please send us an email. But this evening we have been joined by Elder Stephanie Jackson, and she's going to be telling us about the House of Deborah and the services they provide. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It was nice seeing you because we've been emailing each other for a couple of weeks now, so it was nice to finally meet you. But tell us a little bit about the House of Deborah.
Well, the House of Deborah is located in Ellesmere, Delaware, and actually it was inspired from a previous incident I had personally in my life. When I was in my junior year in college some years ago, what exactly happened was I had an episode that I was homeless. And I was a single parent with 2 children, found myself with nowhere to go, in a motel, 3 days, had a friend that helped me out, and I was able to get shelter. From that point, it inspired me that when I had got myself together and sometime in the future, that I would provide some type of help towards others who are trying to get a career moving for themselves. So later on in life, 2009, that's when the House of Deborah was birthed.
So tell us more about the services that are provided at the House of Deborah.
Some of the services that are provided are mentorship, tutoring, anger management. We provide life skills, financial management. It is a faith-based program, so we do have spiritual workshops that are included as well. And then we also partner with some of the outside community resources for those that might be in a reentry program or might be suffering from substance abuse, can also have help while they are staying at the House of Deborah.
How did you put this all together?
It was actually from God. I have to give him all the glory with it. Back in February this year, it was actually something that had simmered in my spirit for a while, as I had mentioned, but in February it was just time to step out on faith. We didn't wait for any grants. We didn't wait for any special funding to come. Living Harvest International Ministries is the ministry that actually oversees the House of Deborah. And those who sat on the board and those who volunteered, we just thought that it was time to do something more for the community and provide a house like the House of Deborah. The women that come to our house come from either from a domestic violence, they come from homeless, they come from reentry, they come from all walks of life. And when they come to us, we make sure that the #1 desire is for a positive change in their life, for them to want to be independent, self-sufficient, for them to want to have a career. At first, we were focusing on those who were interested in being in the healthcare, because I'm a nurse myself. But then God touched us and said, expanded. So we expanded to healthcare, education, as well as for business. So at this current time, the House of Deborah is very small. It only can hold up to 5 individuals. These individuals have their own private rooms. They share the common areas such as the lounge and the kitchen. They do their own cooking. They just have it's a very faith-based, supportive environment that allow them to focus just on what they need to do to get themselves back together.
Can they come with their children?
No. At this time, the House of Deborah is so small as far as the environment that is single women who are presently there that don't have any children. However, if they had kids and they come into the program, we would partner up with outside community resources that will help put the family back together, so to speak.
Now, you've mentioned a lot of mentoring and the job training, and what other outside organizations are working with you to make all this possible?
Right now we're getting a lot of support from the Goodwill, and also there is a program, Brandywine. We have talked with Brandywine, and right now they're the 2 strongest supports, the Goodwill #1 that have been helping us providing applicants to come. Some of our applicants also have been coming from the Salvation Army.
Now, is there a time limit for how long they're allowed to stay at the House of Deborah?
Technically, from 6 months to 18 months. However, it is by case basis. If someone needs a little extra time and they're meeting all their goals, then we will extend them. If someone could meet the goal before 6 months, then they would be considered a graduate leaving the program.
Can you tell me off the top of your head, I know it's not been a long time, but any success stories or just the progress of someone that has been staying there?
It only existed, the idea came to actually step out on Faith in February. The doors actually opened up in July. We had a young lady who actually came to one of our events. Living Harvest does Christian cafes and other type of Christian events out in the community, and that's how we raised some of our monies for the House of Deborah. And I had been working with one young lady who was referred to me by someone in private, and the relationship we had bonded over time. She came to the event and basically said I had nowhere to go. And that's when the doors of House of Deborah opened. At this particular time, she is majoring, well, she completed her health claims specialist medical coding certificate prior to coming to us. And she's in preparation for sitting for her licensure. And the beauty of it all is that at first she was unemployed. She is employed now. She got a job within 2 weeks after entering into the home. And she's doing wonderful. She's doing great. You can see her appearance even actually changing. She's actually, you can see the appearance actually changing.
That's
I'll just put it like
I know,
that. So
I know
she's
what
doing
you're
great.
talking about. I do know what you're talking about. In my former church, it wasn't helping homeless people, but it was helping people just elevate in their spiritual life. And you could see it. You could see it in their carriage. You could see it in their face. You could see it in the choices that they were making. And it was just beautiful. But you mentioned that Living Harvest provides some funding. How else are you funded?
Private funding. People would donate through our events, or they would donate privately. And at this time, we are looking for federal, state funding, but we just didn't wait until to get a grant or to get a loan. We stepped out on faith, and God has been providing. We get private donations from people that might just donate some of the articles for their home to help us with the furniture inside of the House of Deborah.
Okay. Now, is there contact information for people who might be interested in funding or someone who might need the services?
Yes. That contact number is 302-757-4273.
Okay. Now, what Michael and I try and do is put this information up on our website, and then also when we put this segment on YouTube, we'll make sure that that contact information is available also.
Thank you.
And you're always welcome to come here whenever you want to talk about
you.
the progress that you've made at the House of Deborah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Please continue to watch. We'll have more for you on In the Upper Room Outreach Ministries, The Monitor.